mother waters the stone every single day. She says if she waters it 20,000 times, the stone will grant her any wish, but I never believed her. I grabbed a crowbar and knocked the stone over. Then I picked it up and carried it away. The villagers quickly put their hands together and prayed devoutly, but to their surprise, I carried the stone straight under the waterfall. Then I told my mother this way we could water it 50,000 times at once. But soon something strange happened. A mask suddenly fell to my feet. From that day on, I couldn't stop staring at it, until one day, I accidentally traced the outline of the face on the mask. I slowly drew out the person's features, and somehow I felt my heart race. So I ran toward the top of the waterfall. When I reached the source, I saw a fairy covered in colorful butterflies. I leapt toward her with all my strength, but just as I grabbed a branch, she vanished. Following her guidance, I climbed through the waterfall for 3 days and nights. Finally, I made a bow and arrow from branches. I jumped and fired an arrow. The sword pierced through a tall tree and got stuck at the top. I finally made it to the summit. The fairy was right in front of me. Just as I reached out to touch her, Annie turned into a butterfly and flew away. I searched the forest for her traces. Suddenly, I heard a scream. I ran to check it out. I saw Annie running out of the woods, with soldiers chasing behind her. It was clear she was being hunted. To protect her, I followed them closely. When the soldiers were about to catch her, Annie shouted a mysterious spell. A sword flew through the air. She turned around and the blade pierced through the soldier's body. Then the rest of the soldiers fell one by one. Turns out archers were hidden among the trees. Annie killed every soldier below, without a single drop of blood on her. In that moment, I was completely captivated. So to catch her, I set a trap to lure her in. Soon she fell right into it. I happily came to take a look, but suddenly a sword pressed against my back. She had somehow gotten behind me, and her sword pierced into my body. I told her I had already fallen in love with her. Then I held her tightly in my arms. Unfortunately, we rolled down the snowy mountain together. Annie was furious. She tried to strike me down, but I flipped backward and tore off her sleeve. Then I turned and pulled off her coat, lifted her long hair, and washed her under the waterfall. Crushed berries to draw eyeliner and lipstick on her face. She turned around and saw me holding the mask she had lost. Then she realized I had come for her. She was touched and hugged me tightly, but she still had to rescue the princess, so she knocked me out and left alone. Not long after she left, an accident happened. A soldier threw a fishing net over her, catching her alive. When they tried to harm her, I showed up just in time. As the soldiers got closer, I pushed down a huge boulder. It stopped the pursuers, but unexpectedly, the impact triggered a landslide. I quickly grabbed some tree bark and slid down the slope with Annie. Just as the snow was about to bury us alive, a cliff appeared ahead. I leapt forward with her, and we both survived. Soon I arrived at the palace, where workers were raising a giant statue of the king. But suddenly a slave slipped, triggering a chain reaction.